I, Rudrish Kaur,
And I, Namrata,
from Department of Masters of Occupational Therapy in Pediatrics, welcome you all. First of all, I would like to welcome Dr. M. Shamsuddin sir. He is an expert of medical education and is advisor to Chairperson of Mahatma Gandhi University of Medical Science and Technology. Welcome Dr. Madhu Mathur ma'am, Professor and Head in Department of Neonatology with a vast teaching and research experience. I would like to welcome other respected faculty members, respected seniors and my colleagues. Today we have gathered here to celebrate National Education Day 2022.
National Education Day is observed to honor the birth anniversary of India's first education minister Maulana Abul Kalam Azad. The Ministry of Human Resource Development sets different themes for National Education Day every year. The theme of this year is Changing Course, Transforming Education. This theme indicates that there is a need of reforming the education system and make it adaptable to the current times. Our new education policy was announced on 29th July 2020. It was a day of joy on many faces to witness such a versatile and creative education policy. The Education Minister, that was further known as the Ministry of Human Resource Development, was working for 4 years to develop this policy. The committee was formed under former Cabinet Secretary TSR Subramaniam. MEP governs the interest of student and learning is going to be part of fun. There is no barrier for students what they want to read or learn. Overall, I would like to say that the new education policy is helpful in many ways and student friendly. Now studies will not be a burden for any of us and it will also help us to focus on what we really like to do.
We are grateful to the Institutional Innovation Council of Mahatma Gandhi University of Medical Science and Technology for organizing this program. Now, I would like to call upon Dr. Pragati Korani, the convener of Institutional Innovation Council of MGUMST, to tell us more about the same.
Good morning to all senior faculty members and students who are present here on this occasion of National Education Day. We were supposed to celebrate it actually earlier when it was the National Education Day, but at that time university was busy in the convocation and therefore we have taken the efforts today. I am just briefly going to introduce the Institutional Innovation Council of Mahatma Gandhi University of Medical Sciences and Technology to all those who are present here. We have been constituted around 3 months ago and regularly the Institutional Innovation Council is working towards innovations and helping to develop startups coming from the university. So with the future, we are going to have a repository, Yukti repository, where all innovative ideas coming from students as well as faculty and alumni actually will be uploaded, and we will try to attain some funding so that the students become self-employed and have a startup in the coming future. We work as per the mandate given by the Ministry of Education, and under the mandate we have certain activities to be conducted which are regularly being conducted in all constituent colleges of the university. We very recently had the Health Innovation Day where we had circulated among students and faculty members to come up with their innovative ideas, and they proceed towards the formation of startup. We are also at the earlier stages, so we are also taking baby steps towards it, but we are working as per the mandate of the Ministry of Education. So keeping that in mind, today we are celebrating the National Education Day, and as rightly said by our students who had spoken earlier, this year we actually saw 2 basic changes in education in the previous 2 or 3 years. Because of COVID, there was a shift towards online education, and even fields like dentistry, which are hardcore skill-based professional education units, even they had to shift to online education. So we conducted practical forms by YouTubes and our students followed it for almost 1 year. So we are here to understand, can we incorporate things like this into our curriculum on a regular basis. The second topic is also the great change which was seen on a national level, and it will come slowly incorporate into all curriculums. I can speak for dental. So that is a national education policy. So university is also working towards incorporating this policy into its system. So keeping these two things in mind, we are moving towards this debate today morning. So I thank you all. And with this, I also introduce the upcoming activities to you so that you students actively participate. Please see the notices that are sent by principals on your groups, and please actively participate and come up with innovative ideas which can be taken forward to startups. If you have any queries, we are here to solve those queries, and we are providing the required infrastructure in terms of patents, research and development, as well as other hand-holdings through the Institutional Innovation Council. So with this, I hand it over to them to continue with the program. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. It is an immense pleasure and pride for us to inform you all that one of our faculty members, Dr. Priya Marwa ma'am, Professor and Unit Head at Department of Pediatric and Bone Marrow Transplant Physician in Mahatma Gandhi Medical College and Hospital, has recently participated in article writing competition on the theme of changing course, transforming education, and secured second position. So now may I call upon Dr. Priya Marwa ma'am to share her award-winning experience.
Good morning, everyone. The article writing competition was basically to highlight the new national education policy. But I actually wrote for a change. We were supposed to, just point out the good things that the policy has come up with. But my first sentence was that it is time that we make a few more changes. I write for a change in the youth we nurture. India no longer needs literate youth. What we need today are educated, knowledgeable, sensitive to others' needs, patriotic youth who will work for the betterment of our nation without any prejudices or hackles. The new national education policy is based on 4 pillars, which are access, equity, quality, and accountability. We need to strengthen the structure and add a pillar each of skill acquisition and sensitization. What is the need of the hour is to revamp the syllabus in such a way that education is no longer a burden but an enjoyable learning activity wherein students participate not because they seek promotion to the next class but because they want to learn. The initial 5 years in elementary school should be based on language development and sensitization of the children towards gender equality and equity, and equity based on socio-economic needs and towards national property, and sensitization towards our fundamental rights and duties. The elementary education should be based more on projects than on lessons or examinations. This way, the child would be utilizing his or her curiosity combined with creative skills to learn and showcase his talent to his or her peers, thus creating a future youth who would be well versed with the fact that the path of success and opportunities is paved by hard work, own creativity, and not knowledge acquisition, and not by rote or marks in examinations. Subjects like history, civics, and geography should be totally projects based with insistence on collecting information, creating presentation ideas, and speaking skills to inculcate interest in our rich heritage instead of basing it on book teaching and answering questions in examinations. Our culture and rich history should be a part of our elementary curriculum to make children understand the beautiful and finer nuances instead of resorting to WhatsApp and Wikipedia knowledge. Moral science, which was a part of the initial curriculum, should be reintroduced in elementary classes to make children morally responsible citizens, a learning lacuna that is deeply felt in today's youth. Do we need children policy does not mean rewriting history or language, but should actually bring forth the richness of our knowledge in a platter that is enjoyable, creative, and above all, useful to the individual and society at large. Online learning could be a major tool, but should be used for accessing the unreachable, innovating, and creating rather than imparting theory lectures. Sports and defense training should become a mandatory part of school education to bring in discipline and dedication into students. What is needed is not the recitation of Bhagavad Gita, but imbibing its values and teachings in our day-to-day life. The middle school of 3 years should be channeled to educate the children in the ability to handle day-to-day needs of financial management, civic responsibilities, and skill-based learning. Curriculum should include stress management, importance of saying no to drugs, and dealing with peer and societal pressure.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your experience with us. The Institutional Innovation Council has invited the students of MGUMST and other higher educational institutions of Jaipur for celebrating the National Education Day through debate competition.
This year, there are 2 topics for debate competition. The first one is National Education Policy, Positive Impact on Professional Courses, and the second one is e-learning should be considered as a part of dental or medical education. The rules for the debate competition are: first rule, maximum 3 minutes will be given to present their topic and 1 minute for interaction with judges. Decision taken by the judges will be the final one.
We are grateful to have Dr. M. Shamsuddin sir and Dr. Madhu Mathur ma'am as the judges for the debate competition. We have total 2 participants who will speak on the first topic, that is National Education Policy, Positive Impact on the Professional Courses. One will speak for the motion and one will speak against the motion. First of all, I'll invite Anshika Chaudhary, the student of Mahatma Gandhi College of Hospital Administration. She will speak for the motion.
Education is preparation for life. Education is life itself. Hello everyone present here. I am Anshika Chaudhary, student of Bachelor's of Hospital Administration, and today I stand over here to present my views in favor of the topic, that is National Education Policy and positive impact on professional. Education is fundamental for achieving full human potential, developing an equitable and just society, and promoting national development. Getting proper basic education is the birthright of each and every individual as per Indian Constitution. Education is the key element in the development of a child for getting ready to lead a happy life. The changes in national education policy after 1986 took place on July 29, 2020. Talking about structure of national education policy, the 10+2 module is replaced by 5+3+3+4 module. Students have to give exam only thrice, that is in 3rd, 5th and 8th grade. Bachelor's program would be 4th year. Obtaining a year course will provide with a certification, 2 year with diploma degree, 3 year with bachelor degree, and 4 will be integrated with research work. Higher Education Grant Council for providing funds and finance to universities and colleges. This will replace AICTE and UCG. The responsibility for National Testing Agency to hold common entrance program, that is, along with conducting NEET and JEE, Master of Philosophy courses to discontinue as it was intermediate between Masters and PhD. The foreign university to set their campuses in our country and vice versa also. The 4th year integrated B8 program made that is very essential for teaching for students as well as teachers. There are many advantages and beneficial impact of new education policy. That is, it lays stress on self-capability skill of learner. It will help a child to develop their talent. Earlier, the student had the option for opting only one discipline for studying, but now there is a different subject that can opt and emphasis on every student to treat it equally every subject in every field of aspects. The main motive is to develop power of interaction and critical thinking, which was developed by the T.S.R. Subramaniam. He was the main character for this type of skills, which was mainly based on critical thinking. The multi-option in bachelor's courses will provide an opportunity for the student to benefit from their experience as well as they learn so far in their particular area of courses. The new education policy focuses on practical aspects of learning any subject, as is this considered a better way of understanding the concept. Now I would like to say about necessity of new education policy, why we consider a change in national education policy. The main motive of making a child learn along with becoming a skilled one in whatever field they are interested in. The same is application in higher education too. The new education policy also lays emphasis on reformation of teachers' education and training programs.
I invite Jivida Dhadij to speak against the motion.
In today's knowledge-driven world, access to quality education and chances of getting national development are two different aspects of a story. A very good morning to all the respected faculties, my seniors and dear friends. My name is Jivida Dhadij and I am pursuing Masters in Hospital Administration. The whole purpose of education is to create a socially responsible global citizen. The enormous role that education plays in our society brings forward a need for a stronger education policy. Taking into account recent times, the COVID-19 was widely spread and it has derailed the economies and education sector was hindered. In light of such events and consequences, the Government of India decided to launch National Education Policy in year 2020. After the wait of 34 years, now government is deciding how India is going to learn. Even though the opportunities and milestones provided by NEP are irrefutable, apprehensions pertaining to its scope and usefulness do exist, and questioning its salinity is very important. Many academicians and educational experts have upgraded the NEP due to the possibility of privatization of higher education, which denies social justice. And the consequences of same will be felt at village level, where the student will no longer be able to afford college education due to the higher tuition fees. Another aspect that drew the attention of many across the nation is that the education policy is denying the Right to Education Act somehow. One time it is focusing on universalization of education, but on the other side, it failed to make primary and secondary education a legal right. There are many limitations under national education policy that is launched, and some of it is pedagogical limitation. It will be very difficult for an institution to structure a curriculum for a class which have both a 1-year diploma student and a 4-year degree student. There are so many challenges that India has faced since independence in our education sector, and one of the main challenges it is facing as the youth is carrying a knowledge and a skill which is not equal to the jobs available in the market. Again, national education policy failed to check it, as it is silent on the topics or emerging technologies like nanotechnology, cyberspace, artificial intelligence and many others. One of the stated goal in education policy is to double the enrollment ratio till 2035. Where is the roadmap to lead that number? Nobody knows. Reform, but we need a policy on a ground level which is approachable and achievable, not a document which is glorious and ideological, just like another 5-year plan. Thank you so much.
And everything, but our topic was the positive impact on professional courses. I just want 2 lines from each of you about the 4 for professional courses, what's good in the national education policy and what is bad for the person speaking against. 2-3 lines only for foreign. Of course, you have spoken good, but still I want, because you mainly enumerated what is national education policy. Okay, so just I want to know what is the impact on professional courses.
Professional courses, the courses that we are pursuing here.
I would like to answer this question as I'm speaking, as I have spoken against the topic. Ma'am, I do believe that national education policy is something that just came into existence, and yes, it affects the professional courses, whether it is positively or negatively, it does impact. I believe that higher education courses in India are available to many of the people, and so many people who come from the weaker section and marginalized sector are able to do such kind of a courses because of the things provided by government, the policies provided by government. But now, if you look at the current ratio of national education policy, is going towards privatization somehow. But if we go towards the privatization, how the people of a country who are from the weaker section will going to get such kind of education? The inequality in the class will the inequality within the range will be widened, because those who are able to afford it will go ahead in with the talent in hinterland, and those who can't will be fixed in the vicious circle of disempowerment and exclusion and alienation. The first point that I believe is that. The second point that I would like to want to say is that every student in the higher education have a right, or in a professional course have a right for differentiation or diversity of institution, but not a forced multidisciplinary one. So if such kind of things are provided for the student, they'll be able to more grow and explore in the nation, because we need such kind of professional students or higher education students who can give something to the country, because these are the powerhouse of country. If we do such kind of things to invest in them and somehow give such kind of a area or such kind of a platform to them, then they'll be shining higher, because Indian government or Indian society does need such kind of a student. Thank you so much.
So, my views are, firstly I would like to say that I would like to answer this question proudly in our national language. So, मैं ये मानती हूँ कि नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी की चेंज में बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरत थी. हमारे जो प्रधानमंत्री हैं नरेंद्र मोदी जी, जिन्होंने बहुत ज़्यादा ट्रैवल किया अलग अलग कंट्रीज़ में, बेसिकली उनका मेन फोकस आर्मी बिल्डिंग पे नहीं था. उनका फोकस था कि हम देखें कि और देशों में किस तरीके की एजुकेशन प्रोवाइड करी जाती है, ताकि हमारा जो इंडिया है वो लैक ना करे इस चीज़ में. मेरा ये मानना है कि प्रोफेशनल कोर्सेज के लिए जो मेन फोकस डाला गया है वो डाला गया है ई लर्निंग, यानी ऑनलाइन लर्निंग पे. इसकी वजह से हमें जो 3D विजुअलाइजेशन होते हैं बहुत आसानी से मिल जाते हैं, जो कि हमें नॉर्मल क्लासरूम प्रोजेक्ट पे नहीं मिल पा रहे थे. रिसेंटली हम देख पा रहे हैं कि अर्थक्वेक और इन सब की वजह से बहुत ज़्यादा डिजास्टर हमें देखने को मिल रहे हैं, जिस वजह से बच्चों के एजुकेशन पे बहुत इफेक्ट पड़ता है. स्पेशली प्रोफेशनल कोर्सेज की बात करें तो मेडिकल एंड इंजीनियरिंग कोर्सेज पे डिस्टेंस की वजह से हमारा जो फोकस होता है वो कम हो जाता है, और एक मेडिकल स्टूडेंट तो अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकता, because they are the one.
E-learning is the next topic.
Yeah.
But what is, of course, I will
National
stop if you
education
want to
policy.
say something. No?
Come on, you can.
Second question is that in medical education, specifically this is another most important professional education for which we are concerned. On one side, in new national policy, do you know the meaning of Ayush?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me.
Ayush is basically focused on Ayurvedic side of department.
Can you further enumerate? Tell me what is Ayush?
Ma'am, other than allopathic medicine or modern medicine, it is alternative medicine techniques provided in India, like Ayurvedic, homeopathic, Siddha, yoga, naturopathy and Unani.
Very right. Ayush means A for Ayurveda, Y for Yoga, U for Unani, S for Siddha, H for homeopathy, and one letter is not included, that is naturopathy. So these things have been included in our basic medical education, that one should have anything. Allopathic person should have idea about these alternative medicine, and those who are reading, for example, studying homeopathy, they should also have all this rest of the six systems idea. There is one incorporation, big incorporation is this, and another side, the world is going on super specialization, where everything is narrowed down. Everything is narrowed down and more tubular it is becoming. What do you think? Will this national policy is going in the right direction, and how, or it is going on wrong direction?
She says right direction, she is for the wrong direction. Already the topics are different. Now, how do they answer?
I am not suggesting anything, whether it's good or bad. You have to tell me what is good and what is bad.
मैम, जैसे कि आपने कहा, हमारा जो डिपार्टमेंट है मोस्टली स्पेशलाइजेशन की तरफ जा रहा है. जो एलोपैथी मेडिसिन हैं कहीं ना कहीं लैग ज़रूर कर रहा है, बट अभी रिसेंट सर्च जो हुई है मेडिकल डिपार्टमेंट में, उसमें कहा गया है कि 2019 के बाद से 2020 एंड 21 में मोस्टली हमने जो यूज़ किया है वो आयुर्वेदिक और होम्योपैथी मेडिसिन हैं, रैदर देन हमने जो एलोपैथी मेडिसिन की बात करी है. कोविड के बाद से जो अदर हमारे कंट्रीज़ हैं वो रिसर्च कर रहे हैं कि एलोपैथी के अलावा जो होम्योपैथी और आयुर्वेदिक मेडिसिन से होती क्या है एक्चुअली में, और इतनी इनकी इम्पैक्टफुल क्या, जो इनकी इतनी ज़्यादा इम्पैक्टफुल रिजल्ट आता है हमारी बॉडी पे, ऐसा कुछ तो इनके अंदर रिसर्च होगा. ये तभी पॉसिबल है जब ये सारा कंटेंट प्रोवाइड हो इंटरनेट पे, क्योंकि कोई भी बाहर का इंडिविजुअल स्पेशली इस चीज़ के लिए तो नहीं आएगा, रहते ज़्यादा अगर ज़्यादा इंटरेस्टेड हो तो. आफ्टर कोविड के बाद जब एयरलाइंस वगैरह ओपन हो चुकी थी, रिसर्च के मुताबिक बताया गया है कि मोस्टली जो ट्रैवलर्स हैं या फिर बाहर के जो मेडिकल इंस्टीट्यूट के प्रोफेसर्स हैं वो मेनली यहाँ पे सर्च करने आए थे आयुर्वेदिक और होम्योपैथी के बारे में. इवन आई हैव ऑल्सो, मैंने भी विजिट किया था ये, जहाँ पे मोस्टली फॉरेनर्स थे और दे आर मच मोर इंटरेस्टेड इन not in allopathy because they already know allopathy. They are much more interested in homeopathy department, which is the impactful medicine they are giving, so they are providing that much impact on particular body. मुझे नहीं लगता कि
ठीक है. Anything more you want to say? Just minimum words you say.
मुझे नहीं लगता कि किसी भी एलोपैथी की वजह से हमारा आयुष्य पीछे जा रहा है. They are increasing.
I have been watching national health policy since so many years. Every government gives. Being a medical man, the entire national health policy is utter failure. Every time we say sorry. And there are so many. Being your both are administrator. By the way, our study about the national health policy starting from 1956 and what do they want to say? Why do we desperately fail? Number one. I am thinking, will it be the same line, this national education policy, NEP, will also be in future, will get failed? Say yes or no.
It's a very diplomatic question.
Neutral?
Can I just answer in one line?
You say you are talking about against the motion.
Yes. That's
So
what
I am saying NEP is going to be a failure. You say yes or no? Okay.
Scared to answer, so sorry. For
call upon the other participants, I'll repeat. The first bell will ring at 3 minutes and the next 1 minute will be for the discussion. For next topic, that is e-learning should be considered as a part of dental or medical education. We have total 4 participants. 2 will speak for the motion and 2 will speak against the motion. First of all, I invite Dr. Priyanka Agarwal, MDS first year student of Mahatma Gandhi Dental College and Hospital.
I am a firm believer of change is the only constant. With that being said, I, Priyanka Agarwal, student of first year orthodontics, would like to speak for the motion e-learning should be considered as a part of dental and medical education. Gone are the days when education used to be in gurukuls and in ashram, when Dronacharya used to make pandas and Kauravas study from the vocals and practical methods. Then came the blackboard and pencil method. But today, with the paradigm shift, now the center stage is taken by e-learning. According to me, e-learning is very adaptive, diverse and user-friendly. Not forgetting the cost effectiveness, which becomes the very essential mode of education. We have to get a 3D structure which is highly provided by e-learning methods. They can provide us with applications, websites and various. Since the start of my BDS, I have always used applications and websites for learning the 3D of anatomy or for and when I'm in PG, I've seen my seniors and various other batchmates using these online applications to enter into the clinics. Before that, the preclinical work is very important. So there are various video games or online websites available in which you can do the preclinical activities, and then you are more confident when you go inside the clinics and perform your actual clinical procedures. The added benefits of e-learning is if there is some video, it is always available to all the students at all the time. The students can see it with their convenience at their convenience of time, and it is reproducible. The material can be the error mistake from the teacher's part or the student's part is just totally zero in this form of learning. I would also like to bring your attention towards the education and social media, because in all the sectors of medicine today, many professionals are there on Facebook, Twitter, Telegram, not to forget Telegram, because that is the one thing I guess all of us are added in some of the various groups which helps us in knowing the about the new technologies, the new journals, the new articles. It's like within a minute, the article is published in some remote corner of the world, and the next minute we are able to read the article or the latest research, whatever is taking place in the world.
Our online class is better than the conventional chalk and duster classrooms. Our animations and simulations of human body equivalent to the flesh of cadaver. Good afternoon everyone, I, Dr. Nandita Mansingani, am here to speak about how e-learning is not necessarily an important part of the medical or dental curriculum. So as we all know, the electronic methods of learning gained immense popularity in the COVID era. When everything was going haywire, internet was a knight in shining armor. No doubt the online study material and availability of assistance and resources at the click of a finger has made education easily accessible for students. But our profession is not a very easy one to deal with. Healthcare is a very challenging profession and needs a lot of commitment, dedication and perseverance and development of clinical skills by making use of all our 5 senses: to feel, to see, to touch, to listen and to smell, all of which cannot be possible through e-learning. Certainly E here does not stand for efficiency. I think all the doctors in the room can agree to this, that without using all our 5 senses, we cannot develop a 6th sense of diagnosis, without which there is no treatment plan. Also, patient interaction, bedside manner, all these things contribute to an integral part of being a healthcare provider. Our patients come to us at our most vulnerable stage, and the first step towards treating them is to make sure that they inculcate a sense of faith towards their treating doctors. Online learning can never be as effective as the traditional route, as mentoring, face-to-face contact and supervision play a very important role in development of higher order cognitive skills. In our profession, it is important for the students to have contact with and to be able to inspect the patients so that it enables them to recognize various symptoms face to face. To conclude, I would like to say e-learning can never replace the traditional learning method in healthcare sector, as an underskilled doctor is not an asset but a liability to the society.
Now I invite Dr. Pallavi Goswami, the MGS first year student of Mahatma Gandhi Dental College and Hospital. She will speak for the motion.
Education imparted by heart can bring revolution in the society. It is the famous saying of Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, remembering him on the National Education Day. A very warm good afternoon to one and all present here. I am Dr. Pallavi Goswami of MBS first year student in the Department of Orthodontics. I am standing here to share my views for the notion of today's topic, e-learning should be considered as a part of dental or medical education. To begin with, I would like to say that everybody has their own opinions, whether right or wrong, which I totally respect, but in my belief, I personally think that e-learning should be definitely considered a part of dental or medical education. Let's quickly understand the ABC of e-learning. A is the accessibility. E-learning provides the ability to access content by a wide range of the users. Either it's related to research, opportunities, or practitioners' doubts, or students' understanding. B is the blended learning. Students do not see e-learning as replacing traditional instructor-led training, but as a complement to it, forming a part of blended learning strategy. It gives students more flexibility to customize their learning experiences and progress their pace. C, I would like to relate it to COVID-19, wherein e-learning represents an optimal solution to maintain learning processes in exceptional and emergency situations such as pandemic. Besides all this, e-learning is becoming a pioneer in the future of medicine. E-learning comes into play when other modalities get restricted, like if any practitioner wants to understand about some pathology which are area specific or seasonal specific, the traditional practice might limit him. Also, it is not only cost effective, it is time saving and energy saving for the clinician as well. With the recent advances, it is making its way in the diagnosis and treatment planning of the patient. It is not only helping the student in better understanding, but also providing the faculties to dive in the ocean of immense knowledge and opportunities. At the end, I would like to conclude it by Gandhiji's famous quotation: if we want to reach real peace in the world, we should start educating children. And I believe that education should definitely not restricted by traditional means. Thank you.
Next is Dr. Akshita Joshi. She is MDS third year student of Mahatma Gandhi Dental College and Hospital. She will speak against the motion.
A very good afternoon to the digital generation sitting in this room. I, Dr. Akshita Joshi, third year resident from Department of Orthodontics, would like to present my views on why e-learning should not be considered as a part of dental or medical education. With the dawn of 21st century and COVID-19 pandemic, there is an exponential rise of people embracing modern methods of learning. Many medical or dental universities have started adapting to this modern pedagogical approach known as e-learning. But are we really ready for the healthcare industry to embrace e-learning? Both medicine and dentistry are surgical, clinical and practical branches. When it comes down to learning appropriate clinical, diagnostic and surgical skills, no amount of fancy apps and 3D simulations come even close to the tactile sensation of a real patient. To become a good clinician and surgeon, you need fine motor skills which e-learning cannot provide. It is called Bachelor of Dental Surgery after all, right? Another problem with e-learning is the communication barrier. There is poor classroom engagement due to irregular internet. A lot of doubts, queries, or important discussions get lost in the translation due to bad internet connections or fault in the devices. Not every student can afford fancy laptops and tabs and mobile phones, and not every teacher can become a pro with technology to deliver online lectures. A significant amount of time is lost in establishing the fact if the other person can see the screen or not, or if they are audible or not. This rarely happens in a classroom setting. Interpersonal relationships, student-teacher interactions, and social life takes a backseat in the e-learning mode. Teachers find it difficult to gauge students' comprehension level during online lectures. Meanwhile, students find it difficult to pay attention to online lectures for long hours, not to mention the undue eye strain from staring at the screen for far too long. When COVID restrictions were lifted and medical and dental students came back to the offline classroom mode, it was found that a lot of them struggled with basic procedures which they should be knowing at that stage. They lost almost 2 years of learning clinical and pre-clinical skills. It is very important to acquire these skills in your foundation years. I'm sure all of you must have seen a plethora of memes on students graduating through online modes. I would just like to ask you if you would want a doctor who spent hours behind a tab to treat you, or would you want a doctor who spent hours developing his skills in a lab or a hospital to treat you or your family members? In conclusion, I would just like to say that e-learning can only help so much in the medical or dental field by just being an easy and accessible resource of the latest trends, books and techniques, etc. But e-learning's inherent shortcomings prohibit it from being used as the sole teaching technique in medical education. Thank you.
And now I request all the 4 participants for the questionnaire round.
No one supervise whether they pay attention or not. I'll give you an example. Every one of us is watching any movie. Maybe going to WTP and watch a movie. I had a class fellow who can narrate the story after 3 hours of movie, each and every topic. There is a resource spatial memory. But same thing is failed in audiovisual class to the school level, to the college level, to professional level. Why? Can you explain?
Maybe because while watching a movie, you do it with a lot of interest. That is what you want to do, to watch the movie, to know what is happening and to remember it. But not all topics are going to be interesting for students. They might be able to memorize the topics either by learning or watching a video only if they are interested in it. So if someone really wants to know about something, the method doesn't really matter. They memorize.
I say e-learning should be a part of education to certain level.
Yes, certainly.
Maybe in higher education. Even I know in professional education, it is not up to the expectation. It is a failure according to me. But whereas in school education, like there are so many apps available for the competitive exam, it is a huge success. I don't know why.
Children, they like colorful things, they like audiovisual simulations, but when we come to a professional course like this, we cannot have those things teaching the future doctors, future healthcare workers. These techniques and methods are able to grasp the attention of a child, but not a 20-25-year-old. If somebody asks me that this is your iPad, just watch this lecture, and on the same iPad I have my Instagram, Facebook and everything, I will definitely get distracted.
Did you attend your classes in Kota? Most of the medicals are from Kota. Why? There is no e-learning. quota, it is a drilling exercise and every day morning 7 to 9, and then there are people all over India, and I have seen most of them are from Bihar and they get number 1 in the NEET exam. There is no place for e-learning. So e-learning are the elementary school, high school, higher secondary school, arts and science and professional. Where it suits very well to good for the students.
I just feel that it can only act as a resource which we can access for the latest information and everything. But it cannot be the only method, and it cannot be the place where we learn these things. We can only find out about these things, and unless you practically try it, do it, learn it, you cannot put it into practice.
You cannot teach what is something. In a lumbar puncture you cannot teach, and then you can show other things, but unless you perform yourself. And professional courses it may not be effective. But maybe school education up to +2, quota education it may be this case. There are so many apps and other things. You want to say something?
So I believe that it also, So I believe that it also teaches you self-discipline. If, as Akshita was said, that if you're given an iPad and one side you're watching the class and on the other side you are interested in watching something, YouTube video or something, then it gives you discipline कि मुझे यही करना है, मुझे पढ़ना है तो पढ़ना है. So it teaches you self-discipline also.
Fortunately, all of you from orthodontics. Robotic skill is the most important. Oral surgery, I want only. But your orthodontic, you require skill. It cannot be taught by video class or something unless you experience yourself.
So but the truth is always when we are given something, some exercise to do, we first search it on YouTube,
Yes,
how it is done.
So
Then
what
we get
if
the
you,
basic knowledge.
It is
then
not
we-
a recipe that you do experiment before cooking. No.
But then how will you perform some skill if you don't know about it truly?
Teacher is supposed to teach you. No?
Yes, sir.
It may be supplementary to your skill development. The orthodontics is fully skill. I
Yes, sir.
understand.
Yes, sir.
And if you don't understand the strength of your band
Yes, sir.
and you apply wrongly,
But I know it's not easy to talk them against, and that's very true. But that's why I will just ask, because it's very difficult कि भी part भी नहीं हुआ आसानी हो सकता. So I will, ये तो भी पढ़ के बोल रहे थे आप. मैं चाहती हूँ एक पॉइंट, स्ट्रॉन्ग पॉइंट बोलूँ फॉर में, एक जना, और जो अगेंस्ट वाले दो अगेंस्ट स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट पॉइंट्स जो हैं. आपने इतना तैयारी की है, मेरे दिमाग में है बहुत से पॉइंट्स फॉर में अगेंस्ट में. तो आप फॉर वाले कौन है? ये दोनों है ना. तो फॉर वाले आप मेरे को एक स्ट्रॉन्ग पॉइंट बोलो फॉर में ई लर्निंग का. पार्ट तो ऑलवेज रादर प्रोफेशनल में बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है, पर मैं बोलना शुरू कर दूंगी तो यू विल पिक अप. तो बट यू जस्ट टेल मी एज अ पार्ट.
कोविड वाला जो पॉइंट है, at the time of pandemic, how we are learning.
नॉर्मल सर्कमस्टेंस,
No.
वो तो कोई भी वो डिनाई नहीं करेगा. नॉर्मल सर्कमस्टेंस.
In normal circumstances, I believe that it is a great opportunity for research field.
सर्च क्या ई लर्निंग पे करोगे? कैसे मतलब क्या?
As I said in my debate, it is not only helping the students with their understanding, it is also helping the faculties also to gain the immense knowledge in their research field. Or if any one topic is given to you, you can search here in India, you can read the articles from London, from America, from different parts of the world. So it gives you the accessibility. This is my point.
Okay. Accessibility to world over knowledge. ठीक है. global, whatever globally is available, that is accessible to you. One thing. So इतना लंबा बोलने की जगह वो इतनी देर तैयारी करिए ना उससे तो आपके पास क्लिक होना चाहिए वो चीज़.
One sentence.
Yes. So, ma'am, my point is that the use of technology is inevitable, and the technology is the future of everything. Apart from education, it is future of everything. And as Charles Darwin has told, survival of the fittest is the thing. So, according to me, the new fit is technology and e-learning.
E-learning से पहले भी हम सब डॉक्टर्स बन रहे थे. And
you are the against में नाम क्या है? ठीक है बोलो नंदिता.
E-learning से पहले भी हेल्थ केयर प्रोफेशनल्स सोसाइटी में आ रहे थे. And I feel कि e-learning में we are taught only about a particular simulation. And बाहर जाके practical world में every patient is different. So there's diversity of patients. Unless and until we don't deal with a patient in person, we will not understand कि किस patient को किस तरह से treat करना है. Not just I mean the method of treatment changes with each and every patient. Disease diagnosis हो सकता है सबका same हो, but उस patient के साथ deal कैसे करना है ये change होता रहेगा.
I would like to talk about the credibility of the information available on the internet. There is so many, such a lot of data available that you cannot always establish the credibility. And every branch has its own Bible, that this book is the be-all, end-all of this branch. So at the end of the day, if I come up and say something that I read this online and I want to do this, I will be asked, but have you read it from this book? What does this author say? So ultimately, if I have to hit the books, after going through online modes and everything, I would first like to hit the books. Then I would like credibility. Yeah, credibility is an issue which we cannot establish in online modes.
Speaking against, see, we do not want to know what is national education policy. We know about it. That is why we had given you the topic. We do not want to know what e-learning is. What you were supposed to do is that these are the points that are against, which I feel are against the national education policy, and so it should not be implemented. And these are the points that I feel are in favor of the national education policy, so it should be implemented. This is how the debate should be. And number two, always stick to the time, right? Remember, when you are marked for debates, if you speak for a shorter time, your marks get deducted. If you go beyond the allotted time, your marks get deducted. So you all have spoken very well, but in future practice at home and see that you finish within the stipulated time. Okay?
So congratulations to
Sorry.
Congratulations to all the participants, and it's really motivating that so many faculty members are and here. Dr. Shamsuddin sir is here to judge Madhu ma'am. आपने मतलब नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी पे तो मैम ने इतना अच्छा आर्टिकल पढ़ा ही her own, and she has won the prize for that on a national platform. Online education जो topic था, actually we came up with online education and then we changed it to e-learning. There is a difference between the two. जैसे मैम भी कह रहे थे कि अभी बोलना शुरू करें तो हम उस पर बहुत बोल सकते हैं. So e-learning में सिर्फ online classes नहीं आती हैं. Your main for and against points were I think mainly because के online class का क्या impact आता है ना, जो against में बोल. But e-learning I think some very senior teachers are also sitting here. E-learning थोड़ा बहुत तो हमको incorporate करना ही पड़ेगा, and as you Pallavi said, blended is the actual term.
She used very right.
Yeah, the content that you used in your debate was good. Blended learning is what we have to look forward to. Sir, I think I am correct.
Absolutely.
है ना. और e-learning का मतलब सिर्फ ये नहीं है कि मैं एक लेक्चर रिकॉर्ड करके दे दूँ और आप ऑन कन्वीनियंस, अगर हमने स्टूडेंट्स की कन्वीनियंस को देख के ई-लर्निंग को करा, दैट इज नॉट द पॉइंट. बट एक पॉइंट जो मुझे मिसिंग लगा सबसे बड़ा वो ये है कि सबसे अच्छी
e-learning. I am against.
No, sir, I am not for and against. But sir, balance है. But the most important part I feel is all teachers are here कि जो impact एक senior teacher खुद पढ़ाकर आपको देगा one on one, वो impact online से नहीं आ पाएगा. अब इसके दोनों aspects हैं. क्लासरूम में आपके टीचर्स हैं, आप जब हॉस्पिटल राउंड्स पे होते हैं अपने टीचर्स के साथ में, आप वहाँ पे कितनी सारी चीज़ें सीखते हैं. इतने एप्रीहेंशंस थे कि हमें ये CME अटेंड करनी है, वो CME अटेंड करनी है, जाना पड़ेगा, लेकिन अब हम कर रहे हैं ना ऑनलाइन अटेंड, तो कुछ नॉलेज तो गेन कर रहे हैं. एंड अनदर थिंग इज कि सिर्फ ऑनलाइन क्लासेस की बात नहीं है, असेसमेंट में कई बार हेल्पफुल हो सकता है, टाइम सेविंग हो सकता है, और फीडबैक जो एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट आया है उसको भी हम ऑनलाइन ले सकते हैं, दे सकते हैं. दैट कैन हेल्प अस अ लॉट. ये मेरा ओपिनियन है. सर इज हियर, ऑल सीनियर्स आर हियर. जस्ट
e-learning. So everything is important. E-learning must be a part of your education program, but not as a whole, a small part. Because now we are in the time of globalization. Someone rightly mentioned that now we are able to assess the research from across the globe. Now there is a LinkedIn, there are so many social media by which you can feel motivated and you can grab the idea and you can implement in your routine practices. So this is one of the very important things, and the topic selection was very good and all the speakers presented very well, but it's a very difficult thing for and against. But anyway, you presented very well.
Sometimes certain topics are very
one of the great help for all of us, because it saves time, it saves a lot of money if you want to learn e-learning. And my at last, once again, my sincere thanks to all the students who come forward and attended this debate. Once again, thank you very much.